Hey everyone, Mr. I here, and I have a great story to share with you today. I'm going to be reading Shoot for the Moon Snoopy. Fun fact about Mr. I love anything that has to do with space and Snoopy. Alright, here we go. One fine morning, Snoopy sat on his doghouse reading an astronaut training book for dogs. NASA was sending astronauts to the moon again, and he was determined to be one of them. I was the first beagle on the moon, he thought. I'll be the second one too. Charlie Brown walked by. If you want to fit into your spacesuit, Snoopy, you'd better start training, he said. Charlie Brown was right. Snoopy headed straight for the park for training, after grabbing a snack, of course. Snoopy stood under a tree, warming up for his exercises. He stretched slowly to the right, and gradually to the left, and then back to the right. In between stretches, he enjoyed bites of a giant sandwich. This sure beats the freeze-dried dog food they'll serve on the spaceship, he thought. Peppermint Patty and Marcy were also at the park. Look, sir, Snoopy is exercising under that tree, Marcy said, and he's got a giant sandwich. Peppermint Patty jumped down from her swing and said, Well, I'm curious and hungry. Let's go see what he's up to. We have Snoopy and his giant sandwich. And his friends. Hi, Snoopy. Nice sandwich, Peppermint Patty said. And nice to see you, Marcy added. Snoopy showed them his astronaut training book and then pointed to a headline in the newspaper. NASA preparing to blast off to the moon and beyond, Marcy read aloud. Snoopy smiled proudly. They're looking for a few good beagles. You're going to space? Peppermint Patty exclaimed. I could use a visual aid for my science report next week. Do you think you could bring me back a moon rock? Snoopy nodded. Thanks, Peppermint Patty said. If a real moon rock won't earn me a C+, I don't know what will. C+, I'm sure she'd get higher than that. Snoopy and his sandwich again. Peppermint Patty leaned over Marcy's shoulder. The mission starts tomorrow, Peppermint Patty said. Good grief, Snoopy. It takes years of intense work to go to the moon. You need to get into spaceship shape right away, and we're going to help. We don't have enough time, sir, Marcy protested. Don't call me sir, Peppermint Patty roared. Call me Coach. Then Peppermint Patty returned to Snoopy. We're going to help you train. We'll show the world you've got the right stuff. You can be quite motivating when you want to be, Sir Coach, Marcy said. Does this mean I can't finish my sandwich? Snoopy wondered. Uh-oh. Snoopy really wants to finish that sandwich. Marcy flipped through Snoopy's book. Since liftoff is tomorrow, we'll assume you know the math required for your mission. I hope you've calculated the correct distance and speed that you'll need to break out of Earth's atmosphere. Yes, of course, Snoopy thought. I can also confirm that, regrettably, the moon is not actually made of cheese. Oh, man. Then let's start with some intense physical activity, Peppermint Patty declared. Do 20 jumping jacks, then run 3 laps around the park. Snoopy groaned. That sounded a bit too intense. It is important to exercise in space, Marcy said. The low gravity affects your muscles, so you need to use them to stay healthy. There's Snoopy getting told he needs to exercise. And Snoopy learning that the moon is not made of cheese. Snoopy still wasn't convinced. Then Marcy said, Besides, after a workout, you can treat yourself to freeze-dried ice cream. Now Snoopy was convinced. It took a while, but Snoopy finished his workout regimen. Marcy was surprised. The fact that you're a beagle and can do 1 jumping jack is impressive. She's right. Great work, Peppermint Patty said, patting Snoopy on the back. You've earned a little break. Snoopy immediately lay down to take a nap. Snoopy's tired from all those exercises that he just did. I bet Mr. Todd and Miss LePage would be really proud of Snoopy. After a while, Peppermint Patty woke up Snoopy. Get up, old pal. I'm going to show you what it's like to move in a low-gravity environment. Snoopy was confused. I thought napping was a low gravity environment. Gravity is the force that holds your feet to the ground, Marcy explained. The moon has less gravity than Earth, which means you'll float around like a balloon filled with helium. Peppermint Patty agreed, but don't worry, it won't make your voice sound funny. Here, Snoopy, I'll demonstrate. Peppermint Patty plopped Snoopy down on one end of a seesaw. He was immediately suspicious. I'm going to jump on the other end of this seesaw and launch you right up into the air, Peppermint Patty said. As you're falling, you'll get a clear idea of its life like when gravity isn't holding you down. Isn't that clever? Snoopy did not think that was clever. Sir Coach, Marcy said, I have another idea. Why don't we use the fountain? Peppermint Patty was confused. A fountain? We're not throwing pennies and making wishes. And stop calling me Sir Coach. Marcy explained that Snoopy could float in the water. He could learn what it feels like to move around when his feet aren't touching the ground. Peppermint Patty sighed. We can try it, I guess, but it's not as exciting as my seesaw idea. I don't know if I would want to be launched up on a seesaw. Swimming in a fountain sounds a little bit safer to me. Inside the fountain, Snoopy floated on his back. He glided around by moving his arms up and down. How does that feel? Peppermint Patty asked. Do you feel lighter than air? Snoopy shrugged and thought, it feels like I'm in a giant bird bath. Don't tell Woodstock, though. I wouldn't want him to get jealous. The last thing we need to do, Sir Coach, is show Snoopy what it's like to walk on the moon. According to the book, the surface of the moon is covered in craters, rocks, and a lot of dust. Peppermint Patty paused to think, we need to go to Pigpen's place for this. Marcy presented an easier solution. How about the sandbox? And here you can see Snoopy just floating in that fountain. He said it was like a bird bath. And now they're going to head to the sandbox to get ready for what the moon feels like when you're walking on it. Snoopy stepped into the sandbox. He took a small step. The sand crunched between his feet. Just imagine you're on the moon, Peppermint Patty said. You're in space, surrounded by stars. How do you feel? Snoopy smiled and thought, I feel like I've got so much more to explore. Snoopy climbed out of the sandbox. Well, Snoopy, Marcy and I have done our best to train you. All you need now is a rocket, Peppermint Patty said. Snoopy was exhausted but proud. His training was complete. Excellent, he thought. Now I can finish my sandwich. Snoopy is super excited for that sandwich. Peppermint Patty and Marcy walked Snoopy home. We're proud of you, Snoopy, Peppermint Patty said. You've learned a lot and you never gave up. Snoopy smiled. I couldn't have done that without you, Sir Coach. Charlie Brown was surprised to see Peppermint Patty and Marcy. What are you two doing here? He asked. We've been training Snoopy for his mission to the moon, Marcy announced. Mission to the moon, Charlie Brown repeated. Of course, Chuck, Peppermint Patty said. Don't you read the newspapers? I wonder if he will really make it to the moon, Charlie Brown said. Suddenly, Snoopy leaped out from behind his doghouse wearing a brand new spacesuit. Ta-da! They all laughed. I think he's going to try, said Marcy. If any beagle can do it, it's Snoopy, agreed Peppermint Patty. Snoopy proudly held up his head. Here's the world's world-famous astronaut blasting off for the moon. The end. Well, I hope you enjoyed this story, and I hope you're all having a good time at home. I miss seeing everybody in the hallway and making music around our building, and I hope to be there again soon. All right, see you later.